I learned that there are a few tiny details, or maybe not so tiny details, that can completely change your ship experience. I figured out the best time to go to the pool, the quietest spots on the ship, the dining timing mistakes that made me miss shows, and this little quirk about drinks in the dining room that nobody told me about. So if you are sailing Celebrity Beyond or another Celebrity Edge class ship, because I've had these experiences on 2 of them, here's some things I'm very, very glad that I learned early. So first, let's talk about the timing of getting in the pool. Pools are intimidating to me. I'm an introvert. And so cruise ship pools with lots of people, it gets me. And like when I was a kid and I was more free and less self-conscious, it didn't matter to me. I would go to any filled pool and just swim my little heart out. But as an adult, the thought of getting in a pool full of other people who have their drinks and they're sitting and they're chatting and just like sitting there's a body of water just looking around all of these other people, because they can get so full. It's overwhelming to me. I don't like it. But I had a hard time, especially on my first Celebrity cruise, figuring out when to get in the pool. And near the end of that cruise, I noticed a pattern that before 11 o'clock, the pools were virtually empty, or if they had someone in them, it wasn't a lot of people. I was like, okay, because people are staying up late. Now the buffet will be jam-packed with people. The crowded aspect of the buffet does not necessarily translate like to the pool decks and stuff. So if you are like me and you like to get in the pool to read or to relax, or you're intimidated by crowds, here's what I've learned. You go to the pool before 11 o'clock without fail. Every day, sea day or no sea day. I love the plunge pools. I loved the plunge pools. Sitting on the side, reading my little book, and like I was able to have my phone or my iPad and my drink like right beside me, right behind me. It's so quiet because I love the sunset bar area and the rooftop garden. Every day. Now you would see people in there, but it would be like 4, 5, 6 people instead of like 10 or 12 folks. And if you're with a big group, or you are incredibly social, or you've got your person there with you that you can talk with and everything, it makes it a little different. But if you're like me, the key is to get in the pool before 11 o'clock. Like even if I got there at 9:30, 2, 3, 4 people, I could always find a place to put my stuff. And I checked it out almost every day because I was in that was my favorite area of the ship. Sunset bar area, favorite area, okay? And so I was there all of the time. So no, I walked past there almost every morning at that time. And that's the time to go. Even though I love the plunge pool areas, I noticed that the main pool, although the deck chairs like right up on the pool would be taken, there would be plenty of deck chairs looking out over the ocean. The pool was nice and obviously usable, not super crowded. By the time it hit 12 or 1 o'clock, it's hopping. It's hopping. The plunge pools are hopping. The hot tubs, I didn't really get in the hot tubs because it's a warmer time of year that I went, and I don't want to sit in a hot tub in the heat personally. So the pools across the board, because you've got the main pool, the solarium pool, you've got 2 hot tubs in the solarium, 2 hot tubs on deck 17, 18-ish, and then you've got the 2 plunge pools. Those are the bodies of water that you can enjoy. And all of them have light usage before 11. At 11, it's gonna tick. I mean, it starts ticking up around 10 anyway, but after 11 to 1 to 2-ish, it's gonna like pop off. Another good time to go that I have not tested this out yet because I love the nightlife on cruise ships. Like I just love all of the activity on a cruise ship. And so I don't do this, what I'm about to say. You can also go during dinner. It's another good time to do the pools. No one's out there. So that's a whole other energy of like, I'm doing something no one else is doing. Is this taboo? Is this kind of weird? It feels strange. And there won't be a bunch of people because everybody's eating. All right, so this next one shocked me because I almost missed multiple shows for this reason. Don't make this mistake. So the time you dine will affect the shows that you can go to. And even if you arrive early, if you were in a larger group, your dining will take longer. So this is I said it was the first one. It's actually the second cruise where I've done the solo table dining. My very first ever solo cruise was on a Disney ship. It was gonna have way fewer solo diners. There were 3 of us at a table, and some nights just 2 of us. So that was cool. I was at the solo diners table like 2 or 3 times. I think I ate with them 3 times throughout the cruise. And there were like 8 or 9 of us, and it was so much fun. They're such cool people. Shout out to my Solo Diners crew. If you watch this video, please post, please say hello. So that was great. And we would get to dinner at like 5:30. All of us wanted to go see the 7:30 show. It didn't happen because we were treated like a group. So we would place our orders at the same time. We were a group, like a family group. So all our food would come out at the same time. Our dessert orders were taken out at the same time. Our desserts came out at the same time. So like the first night, everyone was like, okay, we're gonna get here earlier tomorrow instead of 5:30, 5:15, because you can arrive earlier than the 5:30 slot. And she told us like, you can get here as early as 5:10, 5:15, it'll be completely fine. So they did that. I had the night 2, I had I had a reserved dining Eden, night 2 of the cruise. So I went to Eden and I was gonna try to make it to the 7:30 show. That went a little long anyway, because it's, you know, a whole dining experience, and mine was at 6. But I was gonna try to make the 7:30 show. I get there and I see my Solo Diners crew, Solo Travelers crew outside of the theater because it was already so packed. It was the first show of the cruise and they were doing like some, I think like introducing the staff and everything. So there were no seats. They wouldn't even let people in the theater. They got to dinner at 5:15, 5:20 and still couldn't make the 7:30 show. So our habit became, we're gonna go to dinner at 5:30, then go to the club and experience some whatever, do some stuff at the club or go somewhere around the ship, listen to some music, and then go to the 9:30 show. So if you have a larger group, even if you have early dining, you may still have to go to the evening show. Now, the benefit to the evening show, much better seat choices because there are not as many people in there. Most people are gonna try to go to that 7:30 show, which is my preference, honestly. And if I were eating by myself at 5:30, which is what I did on my first celebrity cruise and on the Excel, I easily made the 7:30 show every night. If you have a larger group, you might still have to plan for those 9:30 shows, which it's great because you've got the seating options and choices. But the trade-off on the Beyond is that they had a lot of theme nights. So you wouldn't have known the theme night before you went because it wasn't like a standard theme night they do on every 7-night sailing on every celebrity cruise. But they had like a Latin dancing night, an ABBA's night, a soul night. So if the show went from 9:30 to 10:30, they would often start those theme dancing things at 10, 11, but some things would start at 10:30. So a really good cruise is gonna have a lot of really fun things going on. And the earlier you get there, the better, because some of these venues are quite small. So when we would go to the club and maybe there's like a show I wanted to see at the club, I would go to the activity beforehand so I would have a good seat for the next thing that was coming up. Bonus tip, okay? So if you want to have a nice relaxing time and you have a larger group, you're either going to need to eat early and see the later show or go to the shows and eat later. That's what you need to know for groups. Okay, now as quiet spots on the ship, nothing beats Eden. No quiet spot so far for me on any cruise ship beats Eden. I know there are other ships that have Eden. I've been on the Bazaar on Celebrity Excel. It does not top Eden. Eden was great because they had so many little seating areas. If you want a relaxing spot, go to Eden. Go to Eden. They had, I think, maybe one show there while I was on the cruise, one production type show with singing and dancing, everything. They have some folks playing music, some solos and duets, and maybe trios that are more acoustic in nature in the evening, so it's very quiet. Up the ramp, almost to the end of the ramp, before it gets to the overlook area where you can see the stage from the second tier, there are these perfect big old cushions. And I would go there on sea days. I would go there at sail away. And like, I think I went 3 times. And every time I went, like there was one time on a sea day, height of sea day, I thought, oh, for sure, this whole area is gonna be full. And it was never full. Eden is the quiet spot central. Like that is the best place to go to relax. Go to Eden. So I think the Celebrity Beyond is very introverted cruiser friendly and solo cruiser getaway friendly, or just couples it's getaway friendly if you're looking for a quieter cruise experience, because between Eden, the rooftop garden, the solarium on port days. On sea days, you got to go in the earlier in the morning or later in the evening because it's very packed. But solarium on sea days, early in the morning or later in the evening. Sunset bar, those areas are just great for getting away. Okay, now this next one makes me feel a little bit silly because it was like I had to be on the inside scoop to get a lemonade at dinner. And I didn't understand why. So this is a weird quirk. I noticed this on Celebrity Excel and I thought maybe it's just because there is a newer ship, but the same thing happened on the Beyond. On Carnival in Disney, and I can't recall with the Royal Caribbean, but at least on Carnival and Disney, when you go to dinner, they ask, what beverage would you like? And they bring you your tea or your lemonade and they keep that filled. With Celebrity, it is not so. You go to dinner, you get water. And then a sommelier comes and sees if you want wine. If you don't want wine, no one offers you any drink other than water for the entire time. To the point where one night I was like, I mentioned it to someone at the table. I was like, I want lemonade. And I asked for a lemonade or an iced tea. And the woman beside me was like, can you do that? I think it's paid in here. She thought it was paid, and understandably so, because it was never offered. And when I asked my waitress, she said, yes, sure. My server, yes, sure. But her face looked like, not like, oh yeah, sure, absolutely. It had this look that's like, they prefer not to do it. But if you ask, they will. Every dining experience. The specialty dining and the main dining room. So if you didn't know, you can get tea, you can get lemonade at the dining table, but it's not like Carnival, it's not like Disney, probably Royal Caribbean and other cruise lines, where they will just offer it up to you and make sure you have it. No, it was really weird. I just want to note that. So just ask immediately when you sit at your seat, but you've got to remember, and I think that's the service flaw that I would have never expected on such a good ship with great service. But it is what it is. Now let's talk about timing of port days. Now this really goes for any cruise ship, but I'm just glad I learned it. Like, it's something I noticed on this one. You can apply it to any ship. The best time to leave, to enjoy the ports with less crowds, is to get off the ship immediately early, like right when it opens. So you can, especially if you want to stay at the port that the cruise line offers, and do the included stuff like the free pool or beach or whatever, and eat there, come back to the ship for lunch, or just do a few hours at port. Go early, get off the ship early so you can explore the port like almost on your own, get the best seats, and really have like a quieter, more relaxing experience, especially if you want to feel like a resort stay without going to a resort. You're not going to pay to go to a beach or another resort or something like that. You're not doing an excursion. Get off the ship early and enjoy the port. Less lines, quicker service, best seats by the pool, quieter, more enjoyable. It starts to heat up 11:30, 12, 1 o'clock. You can get a little bit of that, party pool energy if you want, and head back to the ship. The other option, and I like this one, I haven't tested it yet, I think I've got to find a cruise to test this on, is to stay on the ship so you can enjoy the ship free of people, and then get off the ship later, because around 2 or 3 people are coming back onto the ship. You can, not 2 or 3, like 2 or 3 hours before it's leaving port is the key, because the Beyond was having some sort of mechanical issue where it was safe to sail, but we had to leave ports earlier to get to places quicker. I didn't realize that. Someone had mentioned, I was like, that makes sense, because we were just leaving at like 2 or 3 some days. But basically, 3 hours before all aboard. If you like, I just want to swim for a little bit, or I want to do a little bit of shopping, get off the ship about 3 hours before all aboard time, go to the beach. That way, a lot of people are leaving. You can also get some prime real estate on the beach or at the pool at that point as well. And what I do notice is that the ports, like, they start to clean up and shut down and stuff, maybe 30 minutes before all aboard. So that's something to keep in mind. But those are really good times to go if you want less crowds and less congestion. This one is really kind of funny, but it works. One thing I love about Celebrity Excel is that they have clean up and turn down service. So they clean your room in the morning, and then they clean your room in the evening, and they set the lights and pull down your bed sheets and like set your bed for getting into it. It's really, really nice. But I also had some anxiety because I'm like, I gotta get out of my room so the room steward can clean, and I gotta get out of my room for dinner so the room steward can clean. They do have a good like pacing, but they have these door magnets, and I can't remember if I think there's 2 magnets. One is, I can't remember if the magnets are just like 2-sided or if there's 2 different magnets, but one of the magnets is I'm sleeping, stay away, in a very nice way. And another one says I'm out exploring, you're welcome to come in and come into the room. One lets them know you're still in the room. One says I'm out, you can come in. And those magnets just make it so, it's like a really fun, it's super easy. It's like a very easy way to communicate with your room steward, because there were a couple of mornings where I just wanted to be in, take my time. I didn't want to have to rush to leave. So I wasn't going to leave the room till like 11, or I was going to go out and walk and come back and freshen up before I headed out to the pool. So I put the do not disturb one there. And then when I left, I put the other one out. So use your door magnets. It's a really great way to like communicate with your room steward when you do and don't need service. I remember on my very first Celebrity Excel cruise, I got in, I was so tired. I went to dinner and I was in bed by 8:30. I think my room had already been turned down. So, but my room steward, she wanted to introduce herself to me. I was knocked out by 8:30. So if you're like, I don't need turn down service tonight, I don't want you to clean my room, just put that thing, or in the morning, just use your magnets. That way they're not knocking and interrupting you or waking you up or anything like that. Use the magnets. And so here are like the really little things that just make the experience better. And these are things that I would do again, just for me to fully enjoy the cruise. I would enjoy the more popular spaces earlier in the day on the cruise or on port days. Oh my gosh. There's one port day where I did not get off, and there are places like Cafe Al Bacio can be super crowded a lot of the time. And it was so nice to have it all to myself. I loved it. Eden, of course, was like relaxing any time of the day, but that cool, quiet midday or early morning energy when there's literally nobody in there and you have the place all to yourself, golden. Also, I would not overschedule sea days. There were so many fun things to do on that ship. It's like, you can get overwhelmed and wear yourself out with just doing too much. That's something that I didn't learn early, that it took me a little bit longer to learn. It's just like highlight the couple, 2 or 3 things that you just really want to do. So I'm not trying to bop around everywhere and see and do everything, and just not overschedule the sea days so I can actually relax. Because I came home from this cruise a little more tired than I should have because I just had FOMO. So those are my tips for enjoying Celebrity Beyond, things I'm so glad that I learned early that really, really made the difference for my trip. What are your Celebrity Beyond tips? If you've cruised the Beyond, what have you learned that makes the cruising experience easier? Post in the comments, let us know. We want to know so we can have the best cruise experience ever. I will say that Beyond is really good for slowing down. It is such a good cruise for slowing down or letting out and having fun. Like if you've been super stressed and you're just like, I need to have a good time. I loved the activity staff on the Beyond. I'll cover that more in my just Celebrity Beyond review. They did a really good job of having engaging conversation and engaging interaction with all of their organized activities with the cruisers, which a lot of cruise lines do that, but you would see a lot of the same people over and over again. They get to know you, and it's just fun. Overall, fantastic cruise, but these tips will help make it even more fantastical, okay? I hope that you are enjoying my channel and this cruise travel content. I love bringing you guys along on the adventure and sharing things that will help make your cruise experience better and better. So if you're enjoying it, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can stay along on the journey with me. And if you've gotten some useful information from this video, please hit that like button as well. And remember, my dear, a life well lived is a life well traveled. So travel well, and we'll catch up in the next one. Bye.